What is going on, guys? And I want to take this opportunity in this video to thank everybody who's been viewing this. I know we're starting off small, but that's not my goal. My goal is to talk about things that are happening around, the world that affects us Canadians who are in law enforcement, whether you're in corrections, police, bylaw, all that kind of stuff. I know there's so many podcasts out there with our brothers and sisters who work in the South, UK, who represent or discuss what is happening currently that affects them and their opportunities and what they would do. For me and my friends on this podcast, it's to open up discussion on, say, shootings in the United States that would affect us here in Canada, and our aspects, our opinions, basically our expertise of the years of service we've done. I know for myself, I've been a number of years in different departments with the province, never federal, in law enforcement, whether it's Department of Natural Resources or currently with the Justice Department. I've had aspects where law enforcement have touched me, friends and communities with different police force, such as like local police forces, and as RCMP, and other like CSIS and stuff like that. Work together, and you develop an experience, opinions, and friends and relationships that continue on career. I mean, for myself, my friends, we feel that we're young, mid 30s, early 20s, and 40s. I mean, we've also worked with people who have number of experiences in the field, especially here in law enforcement in Canada. With that, I mean, our first videos or video, because since we started, we're supposed to be 15 minutes. We're talking about the Gerald Stanley case and then the Colton Bushy, and talked about, how we get this from that, and it was really hard to get information from people, especially news outlets who are very biased, such as the CBC, who in a later date I will discuss in a different podcast, have apologized about the mistakes they have done about the case in general. I guess they did lie about the information they provided to Canadian citizens. But I mean, I want to talk about stuff like that down the future, like in the future, as well as how politicians get involved with cases like this, where maybe they shouldn't be getting in cases with not knowing the facts and stuff like that. But I mean, again, that's down the road. But this is here just to tell you what kind of videos you might see in this podcast. For me, I don't like showing our faces. A lot of the guys here don't like showing their faces because, they feel threatened by employers. The people they deal with on the streets are not very friendly. So I use what's called the Arma 3 editor, and I make what we kind of look like with these models, and I put them in the video, and then I put our discussion in the video, so it looks like we're talking around a table in this editor. And everybody's good with that. I mean, I like it like that right now. Maybe we can develop something different in the future where we feel more comfortable showing our faces, our names, and stuff like that. But currently we want to do something like this where we discuss about heated topics that maybe our employer, and again, like, certain people don't want to know. And I mean, stuff like that. We want to keep ourselves safe, our family safe, and friends safe. That's most important during these discussions. So I wanted to thank people for that. I want to keep this video short. I know, like, we're still developing, we're new to the scene of podcasts, especially for me, but I mean, we're not new to discussing this, and we wanted to take our discussions that we have at work, what we have on the outside, and brong it here, because we do talk about topics that other people talk about, like in the States, and again, UK, our fellows, brothers and sisters in arms, and we want our opinions in Canada, and like, from the side of law enforcement, our opinions, like, are we racist? Do we judge somebody because of their race? Do we judge somebody or do we do stuff because of somebody's race, or what they say to us, right? Like, get our opinions, because people seem to jump the gun, jump here and there, but actually no, like, for us, there is a lot of racism towards us, especially, Caucasian officers, and like, and then, well, I'll talk about this down the road, how racism affects each one of us in the field, and stuff like that. But I guess like I wanna jump. You know, I took a vacation. I just got back, and you know, a lot of stuff has happened since I left. And one of the funny things I want to talk about is, I guess, a tweet. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau tweeted about tougher gun laws, and in it I mean, I'll post a picture of it, but I mean, he talks about how they're going to put tougher laws towards people who want to purchase firearms. I guess to him, he thinks that vendors or people that sell ammunition or firearms don't ask for ID, which is false. Every person I know who has a firearm, who shoots like as a hobby or works in the field and knows their tools, who go to the gun range or, you know, purchase guns for hunting and stuff like that, you do get asked about your valid PAL license, whether it's restricted or non-restricted. They do take a look. I saw a lot of internet warriors on Facebook commenting and showing us the current law, but they failed to read it perfectly. And I know I don't want to get heat for it, but like, really guys, you do need a valid license. That's the law. And a vendor cannot just sell you ammunition and a firearm without checking if you have a valid license. It is against the law. It's very against the law to do. We aren't the United States, but even in the States, you need a valid license to purchase guns. I mean, even if it is their right to bear arms, we got the same kind of laws here where you need a valid card, it's called a PAL, to show that you've taken the courses, somebody signed off for it, and you can purchase a gun. If you don't have those, they can't even let you touch it. For an example, if you go down to Cabela's, everybody has a Cabela's in each province, and you go there to try to check out a firearm, a shotgun, a 22, any kind of gun, they're gonna ask you for your PAL. They just can't let any kid or some criminal to just handle these firearms. And you gotta make sure your muzzle control and your finger discipline is there. You know, you can't have people just aiming the muzzle at random people. They can't have you with your finger on the trigger. They'll ask you to leave. Like, any normal person who's dealt with firearms or has an active PAL will feel very uncomfortable if you don't know these disciplines. So for the Prime Minister to say these kind of things, it makes me think like, guy, you have people, you know, who can talk, who can explain to you the law. Like, did somebody briefly tell you, like, hey, did you know, like, in the law, it does not say that you have to check your license? But I'm like, it does say, like, you need a valid license. You don't have to say in general, like, hey, this guy needs to look. They need to check it anyways. It's the law. They know. No one I know, no experience I've dealt with where I picked up ammunition. I pick ammunition up every year. Has anyone ever said, oh, yeah, here you go, that'll be $22 for your ammunition, that'd be $50, there you go, see you later, guy? No, the clerks, the people at the front counter will tell you when you check out, they will ask you for your PAL, and you will have to show your PAL to buy ammunition. It's just the law. It is the law. I don't know why he's saying that. It kind of like, it just shows me how stupid this guy is. And I'm like, listen, like, I know Donald Trump in the South is retarded and he says the most stupidest things. Doesn't mean you have to say stupid things. Like, you have other people to say things for you. Don't say stupid things. And I think what bugs me is that, like, I understand people make mistakes, and he probably looked at it and says, like, hey, there's nowhere where it says a vendor has to ask for a license. It does say you need a valid license to purchase that. That's why the vendors ask. I will admit, like, he could say, you know what, I fucked up. My bad, guys. I didn't read it all the way through. It didn't clearly say that. Maybe we should put something in there that clearly makes it, like, non-confusing. But I mean, he doesn't say anything. He got so much backlash from other vendors like Cabela's and other gun shops and you know, like, places where you buy guns here in Canada, ammunition, guns, anything like that. People are hitting the media saying, like, listen, Prime Minister, you're retarded. We ask, if you come here to purchase anything like firearms or ammo, we're gonna ask you for your license. And that's the law. That's always been the law. It's never changed. And it's funnier now that he brought it up that you have all these internet warriors coming up and saying like, hey, it's true, they didn't say that. It's like, guy, we've been buying guns and ammo for years, and it's the norm to be asked for a valid PAL. Now that it's come to light in 2018, and now everybody's getting on their fucking internet like, hey, did you know? Like, he's got a point. It's like, no, he doesn't have a point. He's retarded. If he said he wanted to add like another thing that I just want to make it like, I want to make it clear and not confusing to people that I'm just gonna add a thing where it says like, hey, you know, people gotta ask for licenses. I'd still be like, okay, weird, right? But like for him to say like, we're gonna make stronger, like, it's like it never happens. It's like you can go into a shop and not get it. He thinks that happens all the time, and it's not true. It's false. And he hasn't come back to say like, you know what, I fucked up, my bad. And I'd be more happier he said, I fucked up, my bad, you know, I made a mistake. Because people make mistakes all the time. Even the prime minister, even politicians, even I do. Just say you fucked up. It's part of my fucking core value as an officer and other officers that if you fucked up, own up to it. Don't fucking like say nothing. That just makes me more fucking mad that you're the leader of Canada and you won't fucking admit that you're fucking wrong. You'll throw it under the bus or you'll blame somebody else, but you'll never do that. Even though it's your Twitter account that you fucking post this shit up saying all this fucking false information and your bros at CBC fucking backed you up with it. It's crazy and it's ridiculous, and you gotta own up for that shit. I don't care who you are. Little kids and fucking window warriors and pussies never admit to it. They fucking, and it pisses me off that no one, I know it's embarrassing, I know emotions, like you're angry because you're embarrassed because you got caught with a lie, but if you own up to it, more people are like, alright, that's cool, right? At least you owned up to it, but you don't, and you never did. Or I should say never did. You didn't, and you probably won't ever admit that you were wrong, and you'll blame somebody else for it, and that sucks. And that's where I'm more mad at, that, you know, he did put up a stupid tweet, but he won't man up to something that he fucked up with. Right, and this is my leader. This is my leader. I mean, like, Donald Trump kind of sucks with the things he says, right? But I mean, a lot of people back him up, but he says some retarded things. This is retarded. When a guy says, hey, we need to put a law in where vendors where you purchase guns and ammo have to ask for a valid license, which already happens. And it is a law. It's just people are reading it retardedly because in it doesn't fucking say, hey, a vendor needs to do it. It's you need a valid license. So vendors ask if you have a valid license, and they record your purchases so they know what guns you bought. So when they tell the cops the serial number and the guns that you bought in case you get stolen, they know about it. It's not like we just fucking have guns for people to fucking, yeah, here you go, just give me fucking $200, here's your gun, bye. No, that does not happen in Canada. It doesn't. And the Prime Minister's making it think like it does happen all the time, and this is his priority. Just because there's a few shootings happening in the States, it has to trickle up here, and he's like, we gotta stop this. This is a priority. No, man, it sucks. Stop wasting all this retarded money for these resources. Like, it doesn't. He's gonna make a team to look for this, and that's the craziest thing. And I want to make this video small, but I want to yell more. But no, I mean, I'm going on to 14 minutes. I don't want to make this video 50 minutes, but I mean, yeah, that was one of the things I came home to, was seeing our Prime Minister lose his shit about how there's not tougher laws in Canada for firearms, like vendors not asking people for licenses, which is false. They do. They do. I get asked that all the time when I buy ammo or firearms, and it sucks. That's my leader, and that's my video. So like, comment, subscribe. You know, we're new. I'm trying to build a base here, and I'm actually having really fun with this, guys. So let me know if any ideas, any tactics, or anything you want me to discuss. I'm happy to bring it up. So alright, fellas, peace out.